Now we are going to see about hygiene. Now hygiene means keeping our body in good condition, keeping our health in good condition, keeping our surroundings also in good condition. That is called the hygiene. Now we are coming to the topic, maintenance of personal hygiene. How to maintain our personal hygiene and how to maintain public hygiene. Public means the common places. Where and all we are moving, the common places we can say, that is called the public. So our personal and our own belongings and the public places must be kept very clean. That is called the maintenance of personal and public hygiene. Now the World Health Organization has given one condition for or one definition for hygiene. Now what is the meaning of hygiene? The conditions and the practices. The conditions should be clean and the practice, we have to keep it regularly, every day we have to practice it. Now the conditions and the practices that help to maintain good health of the individuals. Not only human individuals, even the animals, even the birds, everything. Good health of all the individuals and prevent the spreading of diseases. The diseases, whatever it is, they should not spread. We should not give any opportunity for them to spread. That is the meaning for hygiene according to WHO. Now we are going to see personal hygiene. First one we will think about personal hygiene. What is the meaning of personal hygiene? It is a maintenance of one's own body. We have to maintain our own body. How to maintain our body? Clean. We have to keep our body very clean by bathing regularly. We have to bathe regularly. Washing the hands periodically. Trimming the fingernails. The fingernails should not be allowed to grow because there are a lot of bacteria, viruses will settle. When we are eating, they may enter into our body. We have to trim the fingernails properly. Wearing clean clothes. Wash the clothes we have to wear. Keeping the home, workplace, toilets, bathrooms and very clean. Now these are all our own belongings. Keeping our home. We are living in that place. So it is also coming under personal. That is our home. Our workplace. Our toilets. We are using often. Our toilets. Our bathrooms and all must be clean and everything should be periodically disinfected. Now that is actually called the personal hygiene. Now we will take public hygiene. Now we cannot say that only by keeping ourselves and our belongings clean we will not get disease. We will get disease because we are going to so many public places, common places. From there, if any microorganisms are there, we will be affected. So even the public hygiene is very, very important. Now the surrounding places. Wherever we go, our surroundings will be there. The surrounding places. Such as, what are the surroundings? We have to see. Air is our surrounding. But we are not bothering about it. Water is our surrounding. Soil. Then public gathering places like. There are so many public gathering places. We cannot say people should not gather there. Now that is a right of them. They have to come under gathering. Like market. Many people will come to the market to buy so many products. Market, railway station, bus stand, park. Because for recreation purpose, they will go to the park, they will go to beach, etc. Now these are all the common places. Are usually contaminated. What is the meaning of contaminated? They are mostly usually dirty. Okay. Now that should not be that. That means what? In the air, water, soil, and the public places and all, lot of bacteria, lot of viruses will be present. So that people may easily be affected. They be affected by some disease like typhoid, amoebiasis, ascariasis, etc. Just now we have studied about communicable diseases. This is caused by microorganisms, germs, everything. Now the people will be affected if the public place is not clean. Okay, so it is necessary to keep our surroundings also very, very clean. It is a duty of each and every individual to keep our surroundings very, very clean. Now, a lot of awareness is needed for public hygiene. Okay, now we are coming to one new topic. It is so far we have not studied that much in lower classes. That is limited portion only I have studied. Now we are going to study in detail. Actually, it is the medical topic. Now we are going to study about immunology. Now immunology is the study of immunity. It is a study of immunity. So immunology is a branch in medical science. It is a branch in medical science which deals with immunity. What is the meaning of immunity? The resistance developed in our body against the diseases, against certain communicable diseases. That is called a immunity. And immune system. Now in the 11th standard we might have studied about our bodies are having 10 systems. But if you list the 10 systems like a digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory like that, 10 systems, immune system will not come. There is no separate system for that. But the organs present in respiratory system, organs present in the circulatory system, skeletal system, like that, one organs like, they join together form a system important for immunity, that is called the immune system. So in this topic we are going to study about immunity, the resistance and the system involved in developing immunity. Okay, it refers to all the mechanisms. Our bodies are having so many mechanisms used by our body for protection, that is protection from microorganisms, from environmental agents. Environmental agents means the microorganism and other things. Environmental agents that are foreign to our body, they are not belonging to our body. For example, our body is made up of cells, human body cells we can say. Suppose one bacterial cell is entering into our body, it is also a cell. But that cell, the bacterial cell, is not our own body cell, it is a foreign body cell. Why we are using the term foreign? Coming from outside, that's all. So it is not belonging to our body, it is coming from outside, that is called foreign to our body. So if any foreign cell, foreign chemical, foreign factors are entering into the body, our body should develop some mechanism to protect ourselves from the foreign body. That is only. That is the meaning for this. That is what is immunology. Now we are coming to first one, immunity. After that, immune system will come. Immunity. What is the meaning of immunity? Directly we can say resistance. Resistance we can say. Now what are the fundamental features of immunity? We have to say. What are the fundamental features? Fundamental basic features we have to say. It is the overall ability of the body, overall ability altogether to fight against the pathogens. What is the meaning of pathogens? Disease causing organism. So it is the overall ability of our body to fight against the pathogens so that the pathogens cannot cause any diseases. Second, lack of immunity leads to susceptibility. Now sometimes the individual is having less immunity. Immunity is not sufficient. So that is called a lack of immunity, loss of immunity. That leads to susceptibility. What is the meaning of susceptibility? Easily getting sick. Sometimes one child will be often suffering from cold, cough, or fever or anything. Every month the mother or the father will take the child to the hospital. Doctors will say less immunity for the child. That means susceptible, easily affected by diseases. That is called a susceptibility, easily getting sick. And the next one, immunity is a highly specific. This also we are going to study in this topic. Immunity is a highly specific. Now what is the meaning of specific? Immunity means our body is producing antibody. The antibody is a special chemical developed or synthesized in our body. Whenever the antibody is there in our body, it can act against the viruses, it can kill the bacteria so that we will not get any disease. But our body is producing one antibody for one type of microorganism. There is no common antibody. For example, we are getting chickenpox. Our body is producing antibody for chickenpox virus to kill that. So that antibody is only for chickenpox, not for any other disease. That is called a specific. Okay, that is that they are. Immunity is highly specific. Suppose we are developing one antibody in our body which is killing the typhoid bacteria, Salmonella typhi. Then we are having immunity for typhoid. The antibody is meant only for typhoid bacteria, it won't kill any other type of bacteria. That is called a highly specific. Now they can distinguish between foreign molecules from our own body molecules. Our body is made up of chemicals. But some foreign chemicals will enter inside. Okay, foreign chemicals means some poisonous substance which our body cannot accept. Suppose daily we are eating food, we are drinking water, all are chemicals only, but our body can accept. But there are certain chemicals which are entering into the body which will not be accepted by body. That is called a foreign chemical. Now, they can distinguish which is the foreign chemical, which is our own body chemical. That is, easily they can distinguish between the foreign chemicals, molecules from our own body molecules, chemical molecules. Last one, occasionally, rarely, sometimes, our own immunity, we have immunity, we have resistance, it is good for our health because it can destroy the microorganisms, viruses, everything. That is, our own immunity destroys our own tissues, our own body cells. Rarely it will happen. Now, our own immunity is a giving problem to us, destroys our own tissues and molecules, chemicals. Our own chemicals it will destroy. At the time we are getting some problem. The problem is not by bacteria, not by viruses, not by fungi or anything. Our own immunity is a giving problem to us, rarely, occasionally. It is called autoimmune disorder. Disorder means disease. Immune disorder means the disease is caused by our own immunity. Our own, auto, cell. Auto means cell. Our own immunity is causing disease. Autoimmune disorder. That may be fatal. Fatal means causing death. That may be fatal, leading to death. Then foreign molecules like, what are the foreign molecules? I told you foreign substances or there is chemicals which are coming from outside which our body cannot accept it. Foreign molecules like protein, some proteins, polysaccharides, nucleic acids, etc. can induce our immune system. Once they enter, it will induce our immune system. We are going to study what is immune system. Immediately our immune system will produce antibody. Once the antibody is sufficiently produced, we are safe. Foreign molecules cannot do anything. That is actually this point. Last one. Antigen is any foreign substance. Any foreign chemical substance which is entering into our body is called antigen. That stimulates our immune system, that induces our immune system. Now, antigen is also called antibody generator. Now, you see this point here. Once the antigen enters into the body, it is stimulating our immune system. Our body is producing more and more antibody. So, the antigen is antibody generator. It is generating that. So, that is the general character. These are the fundamental features of immunity. Okay, now we are going to see two types of immunity. There are two types of immunity in human body. In the human life, we can say, not in the human body, human life. What are the two types of immunity we have to see? The first one is innate immunity. The first one is innate immunity. The meaning of innate, right from the birth. Some resistance we have right from the birth, from the time of birth of the child, the immunity, the resistance will be there. That is called the innate immunity. Then the second type of immunity is called acquired immunity. Now once the child is born, the child is having 25% of immunity. Imagine like this. After that, when the child is growing after birth, some immunity will be developed, one by one it will be developed. So that immunity developed in the individual's body after the birth of the child is called acquired. That means the child is getting the immunity. The child is producing immunity. That is called acquired immunity. So in that first one, we are going to see innate immunity. The innate immunity, I already told you, the immunity developed right from the birth of the child. It is also called a non-specific immunity. The immunity I am giving short form, non-specific immunity. Why it is called a non-specific? I will tell you later. Then it is also called a natural immunity. Naturally developed in the child's body. That is called a natural immunity. Now what are the characters we have to see? Found in the body right from the birth of the child. That is the first point I will explain it here. Non-specific defense mechanism. It is non-specific. I told you. Why it is called a non-specific? Now I will give the explanation. That is effective to wide range of pathogen. One immunity is developed. It is innate immunity. But it can destroy many types of pathogens. Bacteria, viruses, fungi, everything it can destroy. That is called wide range of pathogens. So normally what I told you, antibodies are specific. One antibody for one particular type of parasite, one particular type of microorganism. But in the innate immunity, the immunity is meant for many type of pathogen. That is called a wide range of pathogens. That is called non-specific. That immunity is not meant only for one specific microorganism. It is common. So that we are telling that non-specific.